What's up guys, let's talk about the Volume X Mini from Dunlop. Is this the best volume pedal for what you need? Is it the best volume pedal on the market? Why even use a volume pedal? How important is volume pedal placement? Will it sound different if you put it before or after certain effects in your pedal chain? All questions we're going to dive into guys, so let's get after it. So for reference, I've tried all kinds of volume pedals. I've played Goodrich volume pedals, I've tried Boss volume pedals. When I give this one a review, I've used like volume wah combos, and now I'm playing this. But question, will I keep it? Let's talk about some of the pros and cons. I want to give you some sound bites so you can hear how this thing stacks in different genres of music. And I'm even going to give you a few ideas on how the top players use volume pedal to their advantage. So let's dive in. For starters, I mean, it goes without saying, but I love how small it is. One of the things I've noticed on some of the other mid-size or even small volume pedals is I didn't like the sweep motion, meaning it was so low, and with the smaller footprint, I couldn't get that access I needed on my board. With this one, it's so high, your foot is going to ride on it just perfectly. You're still going to be able to get that full range of motion without a challenge or wondering if you're going to stomp on other pedals in the process. Another thing that I really dig that just goes overlooked a lot, on a lot of pedals like this wah style, this volume pedal style, there's the big buttons on the bottom, those big rubber feet. This one's just flat, so you can put Velcro on it. You can put it flat, like I use a Holeyboard. You can put it flat on whatever style of board you're putting on. So if you want zip ties, Velcro, mushroom tape, whatever your thing is, it makes it really easy. Another super cool thing is it's got this rubber coating on the top, which is genius, because if you're in a shoe, if you're in a boot, whatever it is, it's very easy to just play. You're not going to kind of slip the foot off. It's not going to make it hard for you. If anything, it makes it easier. Something else that's cool is in this middle part, there's an auxiliary output. So the fact that you can hook it up and use it as, some people use that for their tuner, or more commonly, you could use that for an expression pedal. So if you wanted this, there's a little trim pot inside. You can adjust it. Super easy to access, but very cool feature there as well. We're going to talk about placement of this on your board in just a second, but why use a volume pedal? So I'm going to give you some sound samples. Let's see how this thing stacks up when put to the test. So a really common, easy way to use it is just in doing some swell notes over a simple chord progression. Sounds something like this. Just see how it stacks up when you So you can hear how you almost don't hear the attack, you just hear the notes swell in. So that's a common thing. Another thing that I love to do, just add more reverb and do something like a drone effect. So where so just cool to again be able to bring that in. Sounds awesome. You'll hear a lot of blues players when they're playing just being able to do a lot of the same things, where they'll just do those swells, or they'll do single notes, Another one that's cool is, you see this one a lot in praise and worship, but just, again, heavy reverb, heavy delay, but just doing some intervals. You could, just playing up a scale there, you can kind of see how it works. As far as placement goes, there's a couple schools of thought, and I'd even be curious, I'd love to hear from you all. Drop in the comment your thoughts on this, but typically these are run in the front of your board. That's where, if you have the option, I'd recommend it. That's where I used to always put mine, put it next to your wah, your tuner, or even before those, just because one, it can be used as a kill switch, and two, it's just easy going into everything else in your chain. Right now, just for the sake of how my board is set up and where I had space once I kind of got it all together, it's kind of in the middle. It's after the overdrive. Some people prefer to use it after the overdrive, so think of it kind of like a tube amp. If it's before your overdrive, you've got the volume going into them, so it's almost like as it goes in, the level of intensity or the level of that crunch could go up as you feed it some volume. Whereas if you put it after your overdrive, the full crunch and the full kind of that beefy weight of that overdrive's going in. So even if you just touch it a little, you're going to get that effect. So don't get caught up on that ship of, will this thing produce tone loss? It's another pedal, because so many times I get questions on that, and even used to think that all the time, and I always go back to and tell people, most of the guitarists, like the favorites out there, you name it, the Hendrix, the Clapton, the Eddie Van Halen, Slash, whoever, they grew up and played in an era where the technology is not what it is today. The cables are not the same, the pedals aren't quite the same, and they sounded awesome. So to me, I don't noticeably notice any difference. And I've never heard someone come up to me after a show and say, I can tell your tone is different because I added a pedal. So there's no tone loss. I would not be concerned about that a bit. So who would want this one? In a nutshell, if you're looking for something small, a good footprint, meaning not taking up a lot of space, very easy to use and pretty inexpensive, I would say this is by far the one that I'd recommend. If you're looking for something where you just can't get over the feel of this on your foot, because this is different than normal pedals. You don't just turn it on or off. You're engaging with it the entire time you're using it. So if you can't get over that, then I would look at something else. But if a Mini is the one you're looking for, this Dunlop's for sure the one. The only real con I have is, it's not even a con, it's just if there was some sort of reflective, detail, outline, something on the top, just so that you could see it a little bit easier. I have a black pedal board. There's an all black pedal. Usually its stage is dark. Just something to kind of give your eye that glance so you know where you're putting your foot would be nice, but it certainly is no deal breaker. I love the thing, so I'm hoping this saves you time. That's the goal of all my videos. If you like this, you'll love some of my other pedal reviews and even just gear demos and songs. The big thing with me is getting you able to get educated quick so you can get a guitar in your hand, spend less time doing research, more time just learning with the guitar. So you dig this, guys? I would appreciate it if you subscribe, like, share with your buddies. Most importantly, just enjoy, have fun, rock the journey, enjoy that journey, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. We'll talk soon. Thanks.